Hey guys, today we're driving a 2016 Ferrari 488 GTB. I'm here with my buddy Adam from Vintique Motors.
Hey guys.
Went to high school with this guy. Now he's selling a bunch of cars and bring a trailer.
That's right.
This is live right now. We're gonna walk you around this, take it for a drive, give you guys some driving impressions. First, some basic specs and info. We have a 3.9 liter twin turbo V8, the first turbocharged Ferrari since the F40.
That's right.
It's been a while.
Absolutely.
Yeah. 661 horsepower, 561 pound-feet of torque. We have a 7-speed dual clutch. We'll show you what it looks like on the outside. Get away from all this beeping. All right, so this has about 7,000 miles on it. Pretty clean. Looks very similar to the 458. They made just minor tweaks in appearance with this 488. So this 488 is painted in Bianco Avis. We have the sport exhaust. You can see the flat black tips back there. What do we have for tires here? 305 30 R20s in the back. Carbon ceramic brakes, of course. And up front, we're sitting on 245 35 R20. So 20s front and rear. Just a simple, clean design, not overboard. This is a great era for Ferrari. Very curious to see how I like driving this compared to the 458. Massive front. You could fit a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And there's a specs sheet right there.
Okay, yeah, nice.
Yeah, $42,000 in options, $291,000 MSRP.
Okay, cool. All right, so these are the diamond cut 20-inch wheels, an $8,099 option. And then we have the Daytona style carbon bucket seats. Pretty comfortable, actually. They look great.
It's about $9,300, I believe.
Okay, yeah, you got to pay to play in Ferrari land.
That's right.
I love it. And what do you think this will sell for now? What are these valued at? What's the rough market?
The current market for one of these vehicles in this condition with this kind of mileage, they're between 260 and 280.
Okay, so they've held their value pretty well.
Yep.
Sweet. Let's hop in. We'll go for a drive. See how it is. For the uninitiated, there are a few funky Ferrari ergonomic things to get used to. The first are the turn signals. They're all just right here on the steering wheel. And once you get used to it, it's pretty straightforward, but I found myself, reaching behind the paddle for the turn signal stalk, but they're not there because you've got paddle shifters, of course. And then down here, you've got your engine start stop button. You've got a bumpy road mode. That should soften up the suspension. And of course, we've got our drive mode selector right here. Wet, sport, race, CT off, ESC off. We'll probably just leave it in sport today. It's a little bit chilly out, 32 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're just gonna be kind of trying to
Cruise around
and yeah, keep our traction. Here's your reverse switch right here, auto, transmission mode, and then what is PS? Climate control switches down here, pretty straightforward. You've got a few options here on this right side screen. So you can go look at your navigation, media, radio, phone. We'll just leave it on navigation, see our map. And then on the left side, we've got a turbo boost gauge, turbo response, turbo efficiency gauges, vehicle dynamics. You can see all of our settings for e-diff, traction control, ESC, transmission settings. That's pretty neat. Otherwise, looks very similar to the 458 in here. They didn't really change much except for the engine and a few little tweaks and refinements.
Just a simple layout. They want all the focus for the driver on the cockpit area, so you don't really have a whole lot of fancy gauges and fancy buttons everywhere. Very race-inspired layout.
Yeah, very straightforward. Hit the right paddle, put it in a drive, and then you're off. Tires are complaining a little bit today. We'll get them warmed up, get some heat in them. Let's start off in auto mode. And this just drives like a regular car.
Yeah, pretty soft,
Yeah.
for 20-inch wheels on a high-performance Ferrari. It's pretty supple.
Yeah, the ride's great, especially in bumpy road mode. I mean, this is something you could feasibly daily drive too. You've got
Correct.
enough frunk space. You can take this on a road trip, weekend
Absolutely.
getaway.
Yeah, there's several owners out there that have, gotten into the 20s and 30,000 mile range on these, so they're definitely livable day to day.
Is Ferrari still doing that 7-year, 100,000 mile warranty? Or
They are,
doing
and this
that?
car is under that, so
Okay.
7 years, maintenance included,
That's awesome.
and it's transferable to every owner.
Cool. I mean, talk about worry-free ownership experience.
Absolutely. And these cars are really robust now. They're not too dissimilar to, I'll say a Toyota in terms of serviceability. You get your oil changes, you check your brake wear, check your tire wear. Gone are the days when you have to drop the engine and do belts and, $20,000 services every time you go in.
That's what I was about to ask. They kind of got rid of that
Yep.
after.
The F430 really,
yeah.
that really brought in timing chains and they got rid of the belts. The 360, you could still do a belt service on those without pulling the motor. There was a cockpit door, or a door behind the cockpit that you could access it to do the belt service. But yeah, the F430 was the first model to do away with the traditional timing belts as we know it from past Enzo era Ferraris.
That's great.
Yep.
Man, the steering in these cars is it's so unique in the range of cars that we get to drive. It's nothing like McLaren, it's nothing like Lamborghini. It's just so light, it's so immediate and direct.
Absolutely. They want you to feel like you're the Formula One driver on Team Scuderia.
That's right. And this V8 loves the revs. Red line's about 8,000 RPM.
That was a 25-mile-an-hour run ramp we just did at 70, so that shows you how good these tires are. The suspension's planted.
Yeah, it feels great. See where we're cruising at here on the highway. 70 miles an hour, about 2,500 RPM.
Can't beat it.
Quiet.
Probably getting 22, 25 miles per gallon.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, super comfortable. I mean, that's the biggest surprise here is just how easy this is to drive and live with.
Yeah,
Great
and going
steering
back to the
feel.
seats. These are carbon fiber race seats, and you really don't feel like you're sitting in a carbon fiber race bucket. They're just very, very comfortable. The bolstering's really nice. Keeps you planted without making you feel like you're in a race seat.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell where Ferrari really started to refine this 488 over the 458. I see some better build quality, better stitching. Materials have held up really nicely too.
Absolutely. Yeah,
That's-
a lot
that's
of
a
these
test.
stitching were optional. You can get different patterns, different colors.
Sure.
So very bespoke.
See if we go into race, how does that change shift programming? Oh yeah, a lot more immediate.
I say we keep it in race mode.
I know, this is great.
Great shift points.
Yeah, even in race mode, the suspension's not too bad.
No, not at all. Over
Can I
these
be
great
in-
Michigan roads.
Yeah, can I be in race mode and bumpy road mode? I can. Beautiful. It's nice to have all that adjustability. Man, I love the steering in this car. You get
Thing
so
is
much
just
feedback.
planted.
It's maybe not quite as raw as McLaren steering,
Yep.
but it's close. Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's
You
quick.
hear that turbo wastegate back there. It sounds so good.
It pulls hard. And those shifts in race mode are brutal.
Absolutely. Yeah, you do feel it a lot more aggressively, the shifting at higher RPM.
Yep. exhausts open up a little bit too. Yeah, you can hear that difference between sport and race.
Absolutely.
It's nice to have that Jekyll and Hyde split personality in a car like this. I mean,
Yeah, you want to go cruising down, over to the yacht club with a couple of weekend bags, you can do it. You want to go down to the track and have some fun, as this car was designed to do?
That's
what you can do.
Exactly. Sometimes I think, man, it's kind of a shame Ferrari doesn't make manual transmissions anymore.
Yes.
But these dual clutches are so good.
Yeah, there's no way you could get the performance, that we're experiencing out of this car with a traditional gated shifter.
Oh, man. Yeah, just wild.
And really, driving these cars with these e-gears and these paddle shifters, they're, we were just saying, you lose that traditional approach to it, but it's just so much more visceral of an experience when you can lightning shift like that, and you're focusing on the road ahead and your corners, your entries, your exits, versus having to figure out which gear am I in now, where am I going to go next, and it's all right there in front of you.
And in a car this quick, you almost need a dual clutch.
Correct.
You're not going to want to manually shift something like this with 600 horsepower.
Yeah, we could when we get back to my warehouse, we could jump in that 84 Ferrari 512 BBI, and it's just a totally different dinosaur.
Sure, absolutely.
Still a great car.
Yep.
And I love that car, but totally different experience.
Yeah, in some ways, Ferrari's almost powered itself out of the need for manual transmissions. And I mean, I get it. This is, everyone can drive it. You can leave it in manual mode, and probably if I had one of these, I would drive it mostly in manual mode just because it's so much fun to roll through the, switch through the gears. It
is, absolutely. The first time I drove these, I didn't even know there was an auto mode. I was, just playing with the paddle shifters. So much torque, man.
So much torque.
And almost instantaneous. And that's what you get with a turbo.
Puts its power down beautifully.
Yep.
Yeah, the response here, that's another thing, is, okay, twin turbo V8, it feels naturally aspirated.
It does.
Until you get into it at low RPMs and you feel that boost and you hear the turbo spool.
Yeah, and I haven't looked up exactly when, it's making peak torque, but obviously being a twin turbo, it's very low in the power band, which, it's the opposite with a naturally aspirated motor. You got to get the RPMs way up to really start getting into the torque band of it.
Yeah.
And I implore anybody who's, cross-shopping one of these 488s with a 458, go drive both. It's a totally different experience going from a naturally aspirated car to a twin turbo car. And, you'll pick the one that's right for you, but I think going with the twin turbo, it just leaves so much more gained over a naturally aspirated motor with the higher torque rating and and it makes the higher torque rating a lower RPM than the naturally aspirated cars do.
There's a wow factor to that high power at low RPM.
There is.
It really it all comes on, it's dramatic, it's exciting, whereas, if you have to rev out your naturally aspirated V8, that's fun, it sounds good, but this kind of is the best of both worlds because it pulls all the way to red line, it builds power naturally and progressively, doesn't fall off.
Yeah, it's very linear.
Yeah, it's super linear, but you get that low down torque, and that's really where this car it thrills, it's fun.
Absolutely.
So we're back in sport mode, auto transmission programming, and it's just doing its thing.
Absolutely.
We got bumpy road mode back on. Throw some winter tires on this, daily drive at Michigan.
That's it.
Done.
Let her rip. It's just a car.
It's just a car. Carbon fiber doesn't rust.
No, it does not.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. This was fun. Thanks for letting us have a go, letting us share the experience here with the viewers. and hope the Bring a Trailer listing does well.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's
Sells.
live right now. We got about 5 days left. Current bidding's around, I think, 220,000. So we should get it to where we need it. But yeah, this has been a great experience letting you put this car through its paces.
Yeah, man, this is fun, and we probably won't be able to get through this too much longer this year because it's starting to get cold out.
That's right.
But we'll do some more cars from Adam's Garage, Vintique Motors here. And if you're interested, go check out his website. We'll put a link in the description. Good friend of mine for a number of years. Man, you've been doing this since like high school, senior year
right.
art class. You were like slinging cars, flipping stuff, doing deals.
Always.
I remember
always a car guy. So.
You had a Corvette and an S class in high school,
Yeah,
right?
I had an S500 and,
right.
and a Corvette. And, I was just, always a car guy. And we go so far back. You're a car guy, and you photographed my wedding.
That's right.
So, it's great to be getting back together and doing car stuff again.
No, it's fun. Yeah, I shot a few cars for him this week. Needed some help catching up on things. So yeah, man, it's good to get back together.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.